So the first one is the color theme. And the second one is about icon. So there are a few very common shortcuts, like in Windows, Shift, Ctrl and P. Then you can call out this search bar and interface. And normally, I will use this preference open settings. And then I can just see this settings.json for the VS Code. Okay, and the third one, I didn't use it now. And this one is setting your default formatter is Prettier, because I would like to have Prettier format every time. For example, if I remove or I didn't add a semicolon after my sentence, if you press Ctrl and S, then Prettier will help you to add something. So when you format, the editor will format your coding when you hit save. So you need to enable this option. And also enable ESlint. And ESlint autofix. Also this one, if you would like to have beautiful space between brackets. For example, at first I type in like this, but I didn't format. And when I press Ctrl and S, the Prettier will help me format the code. So this is how this option works. And this option is about Prettier will be enabled by default for React. And this one is like you press this and that. So this option is about when you have some tags, for example, like div, then when you hit save, that will automatically make this tag in the same line. Yes, so that's what it means. And Prettier use tabs. So even more, this is about tabs. So when you hit save, Prettier will automatically give you a tab spacing before the child, or you should say nested sentence. And you can even give the tab width. For example, if I add this tab width from 2 to 4, then when I hit save, and this option is about if you didn't have this option and set it to true, then you couldn't manipulate the size of your font in the workspace. Yeah. And also, if you want to set your terminal to Git bash, this is very wonderful terminal, so I recommend you use this. And if you use, for example, like PowerShell in Windows, you will have different command for the same thing. Like, for example, if you use Git bash, I press Ctrl J to call the terminal, and I can remove node modules if I have to reinstall something again, because maybe the dependencies of my modules, then sometimes you need to remove node modules and remove yarn.log, or if you are using npm, then you should remove package settings.json. Yeah, something like this. Then use yarn or npm install again. And I prefer use git bash. Git. Yes. But if you're using PowerShell, then you should use another command. And I get used to git bash, so I will keep using this terminal. If you would like to learn more commands of PowerShell, then you can Google it and learn more. There are many resources online. And the next one, yeah, I set this one as default too. And I disabled startup editor. I don't want to see the patch anymore. And git auto fetch, I use this one because if you press Ctrl Shift and G in Windows, and you can just upload your changes for your projects to GitHub. So this one would help. Okay, and Prettier semicolon, I will put them in the same place here, I think. Okay, and editor format on save. Editor format on save. Yeah, and you can follow some, and I don't want to see a mini map, so I'll put them here. And I also embed some image, like this one, trigger expansion on tab. You can add this one to your settings.json and check it out. Right? And I also have these ones. I want them have image. Image, which means when you type something, for example, I want a div here. When you type div, you just press D or I, then you will have image somewhere else. You will have options. Image will show you. Yeah. And yeah, I import this one because I download this extension. And I want brackets pair. Yeah, I want the color. If you see, my brackets have some colors in bold. Then you can easily to find the same pair of brackets. And also I have enabled these guides of bracket pairs. So all of these settings will help me to guide me to find the pair of brackets or symbols. Yeah, and this is the one. Just find. And also Prettier, I have set this one too. I will put them together. It's a bit messed. Okay, I'll talk about it later. So JavaScript React. I will just tell VS Code you need to use this formatter for React. And also auto imports. It's very convenient. So if you want to import something, just type in and maybe a keyword like car, like checkout, something, some files in your project. Then if you press this one, they will auto import these files and with the correct path. So that's very convenient. I really love it. I need it. And also about auto closing text. So I think that's very intuitive, which means if you press a tag like this, and this will help you to auto close in the text. Inline suggest, I'm not sure what is this. Why do I have this? This is inline suggestion. You should keep it. So it's a bit like Copilot. If you haven't downloaded Github, they offer a very cool extension, Github Copilot. It's really wonderful. So when you type in, it will show you some inline suggestion like sentence. Try anyway. And also I can give you a Taversy media. This is a good channel, and if you are on the way of becoming a developer, this is a good channel for you to check it out. And also Trevor, he has a good first look video of Copilot. Make sure you check it out. And the next one, this one you should check it out. I'll tell you later. It's about the Fira word. So if you want to see how to set up, I have the time step. You should check it out. And Prettier print width. This is about when your lines are too long. Maybe you have like 10 options in this text. Then this line will act like very long. And then let me check. I didn't have. So if you have a line too long, then this option will help you to break the lines separately. And single quote, of course. It's up to you if you need it. And this option is about JSX. And this is about other files or language. If you are using Prettier, then you can set them to single quote. And semi, of course, I need Prettier to add semicolon to every part of the end of the sentence. And also Prettier, you can set the JSX file to have brackets at the same line. And extra on top, I think I didn't have this one set yet. And finally, we are talking about the beautiful font set. So if you see, and this is how my fonts looks. They have Fira fonts, and when you type something like equal symbol and right bracket, I don't know how to say this symbol. Normally, if you press equal and greater than symbol, then they will just separate it. But if you use these fonts, they will give you some beautiful symbols like combination. And another example is 3 equal symbols. They will connect together. A combination, beautiful. So if you like this kind of fonts, then follow me. I will tell you how to set up. So at first, I upload these 4 files, these 4 zip files, download them all, and make sure install them. And when you download them, it will look like this. You just open them and install. I have already installed, so I think you can just install successfully. And press yes. And install all the fonts files in this 4 zip, especially Fira. Anyway, you need to download them all. And if you want to have the same setting of mine, I have already uploaded to my GitHub as well. So if you want to see my setting, just go to my GitHub. I will leave the links down below too. So when you finish the fonts, then you should enable this option, font ligatures. Another one is your editor's font family. You need to put Fira code, and notice that the font, if your font's name is too long, for example, Fira code, they are separated from each other. They are not like this monospace. They are just the same sentence. This one is separated. So if they have a space between the font name, then you should put this single quote. You need to let VS Code understand, oh, between these single quotes, this is a font's name. This one as well. This one is even longer. Operator monolith and Menlo, Monaco, Consolas, and this one is default, I think. These two, just leave it. And JavaScript editor default formatter is Prettier as well. And I show you how to. You need to install. If you would like, you can install auto close tag extension and put this option to your settings.json. Yeah, I just copy them from the official website. So just do it. And this one as well. This one is Path-intellisense. Yes. Anyway, when I am coding, I really love all of these intelligent little helper extensions. Really, they save me lots of times. Yeah, and this one is, you need to put these options too. And oh, what's this? So I've already have the same one. Now I just noticed I have 2 same lines. So Anyway, it's up to you. You can set this Prettier print width to 80 or 120. It's up to you. And next one, Github smart commit. I set it to true. And I think this one is, I'm not even sure why do I have this. Let me check it out. I should remove this one. So this one, I move it from the end. I try to organize my settings.json. So this editor, word wrap. I think you know what is word wrap. It's about when your sentence or your text have too long. It's too long. You couldn't see it, and you don't want to use Alt and Z, which means you can. So if you press Alt and Z, then your sentence will be automatically word wrap. For example, if I make my screen pretty small, then everything looks that big. So if you press like this one is too long. I press Z, Alt Z. So if you didn't enable Alt Z, then everything is too long. This is not word wrapped. But if you press Ctrl Alt Z, then everything will automatically word wrapped. So you can see them because they are auto wrapped. But actually they are still in the same line. They are just separated from the end if you are too close to the edge of the VS Code. So if you want to cancel this status, just press Alt and Z. And some texts, they have too many options. So let me check if I have, for example, like this button. So this button, they are quite long. Its name is very long. I'm not sure. So for example, like this div, if you didn't have enable this editor word wrap on, then it will be too long. Okay, so anyway, it's about word wrap. You can play with it. And this one is about, for me, I would like to stay minimized. So I cancel this activity bar, but by default, you will have this activity bar. I will talk about their shortcuts. So you can close them and find them by using shortcuts. For example, if you want to have extensions, you just use Ctrl, Shift, and X. Then you can see your extensions bar here. I wouldn't use this one, but I pretty like source control, Ctrl, Shift, and G. I use them very often. At first, if you want to upload your project to GitHub, you need to type in your email and name, then it will help you. I have an example later. And Ctrl Shift E is your explorer of your projects. Another useful shortcut is Ctrl Shift and P. I've already mentioned about it. You can use this one and find preferences. Open settings.json and click it. Then you can type some settings here. And another one I use very often in Windows is Ctrl Shift and N. Open a new window. when you need to see maybe 2 projects at the same time. And how to open a file or open a folder. Usually we will open a folder because files are usually in the same folder. But if you just start learning web developing, so you only have index.html or something, you just have few files, then you can try. Here has a shortcut too. New file, Control N. Yeah, you can have a new file here. And Control KO, you can open the file, folders of your project. Now open it and select. Then you can have them all. And of course, we need terminal, Control J. And make sure you choose Git Bash. I really recommend you to use that. And sometimes you will start building full stack web development. Then you may need 2 or 3 terminals at the same time. So how to split them? Control Shift and 5. You have the second one. So usually if you are building full stack website, this one is for client side. You can say it's for interface. And this one is for the back end. You can say it's for server end, back end. Yes. And another one, the third one, usually I use this one to install more package if I need to install at the moment. This is a quite simple introduction about my settings of VS Code in 2022 in Windows. So I hope you find this one very helpful. Of course, I have another one of Mac. So if you are using Mac, check it out. Okay, goodbye and see you next time.